What's going on, guys? It's Val and Jarrett, our next adventure, and in today's video we're going to cover 5 bucket list adventures, things to do in 1 week. That's 2 in 1 week in Colorado, and what it costs for a family of 4 to do all that. So let's get to it.
Alright, so we're in our motorhome. See it behind us. Our accommodations for an executive site at Garden of the Gods RV Resort. Earned $22 a night. We're here for a week, so it's roughly $860. We have another video on just about the resort, but it's in the middle of everything. So it's a really convenient location. It's a nice park, it's quiet, it's clean. Highly recommend it.
Yep.
If you're in something long, get an executive site, because we are in the mountains and some of the sites here are not, super
perfectly level.
Right. So if you got a, bigger rig, you want to get one of these executive sites because it's concrete and they've leveled the concrete.
Yeah, so we are at Garden of the Gods RV Resort, which, like Jarrett said, is close to everything on this list that we're going to cover. So depending on where you may or may not stay, this $860 for the week is just a rough estimate for your accommodations, whether you're in a hotel that averages $122 a night or an RV site. So obviously if you're staying in a nicer, hotel resort, it's probably going to be higher, but that's what it costs for our family this week, $860. So the first bucket list adventure that you should take is Rocks Amphitheater. Just a little west of Denver. From Garden of the Gods RV, took us about an hour and a half to get there.
With traffic.
With a little traffic. On a Sunday night? It was a Sunday night. Yeah. We went and saw Stick Figure, a reggae band that I love and have maybe the kids and Jarrett have now grown to like a little more too.
It was cool.
Yeah, very cool place to go. The atmosphere cannot be beat. There's tons of food and drinks, whether they're alcoholic or not. And I love the party deck up at the top. It's got the fantastic view all across Denver. If the weather's clear enough, you can see all the way to Denver. And plenty of places to eat up there, little tables with umbrellas, and in my opinion, depending on the concert, family friendly.
Yeah, even going to a reggae concert in Colorado, it was still relatively family friendly.
Laid back, really cool. So you guys can check out our videos on all 5 of these adventures in more depth. We're going to have a video on each one, so be sure to put those links below and you can pick whichever one you'd like to see more on and go from there. So Rocks Amphitheater, we averaged $200 for the concert for 4 people, so that's averaging about $50 a ticket. That's going to be give or take, of course, depending on who's coming, who you're seeing, and depending on if you're adding any food and drink. So we did not add that to the list, so we just are averaging the $200 for the tickets, and then you can add in, give or take, whatever you think you might spend.
Pro tip: if you get a water, they take your lid.
That's right, they're still taking lids at concerts. I don't understand that. So if we bought 4 waters and you have to hold on to them, because now you have this open water and you can't really set it behind you because people are walking, they're in the way, and you don't want it to spill over. You just paid $75 for water. But yeah, I don't know why they're still doing that. It was so annoying, but we just had to hold them and we put them between us when we were sitting, and anyway, but
if you sit close to each other, you can stick them between your hips.
Yeah, look and see and find out what the current things that are prohibited to bring in are or aren't. You can probably bring in your own water and snacks, but double check the website to be sure. But if you're going to be eating there and if you're going to be buying someone's concert t-shirt, that price is going to jack up pretty high from that point.
Yeah, t-shirts.
So we'll just keep it at the $200 for now.
Stick figure t-shirts are $45.
Well, any band is going to charge, $35 to $50, $60. I think a sweatshirt was $70.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Okay, moving on to the next.
So number 2 is the Manitou Incline.
Right here in Manitou Springs.
It is.
It is literally right over there, but you can't walk from Garden of the Gods RV. You have to drive.
You could walk it if you were...
Oh, if you want to add another 3 miles to your adventure, go for it.
So it's free besides parking, but is it really free? it costs you something to do that.
It was $10 and a lot of sweat.
But yeah, it's super close. It's a 5-10 minute drive depending on traffic through Manitou Springs. And then, like you say, once you get in there, it seems to me we went pretty early in the morning and we were able to get a really good parking spot. And if you mess around and go later in the day,
you're going to park somewhere else.
And it's going to be hotter.
Yeah.
So,
it was great weather. I think we could have even gone earlier. I think we started ours about 9:30. You do have to book a reservation time to enter. And it was, Monday, first week of June. So, and then as we got up the mountain, it was closer to noon. It was definitely getting hotter. It was going to be about 80 that day. So, yeah, definitely go early. Bring lots of water, but beautiful, breathtaking views, and it's good for the whole family. I mean, we saw kids of all ages up there.
We saw people of all ages up there.
Yeah, people of all ages, and so even like, the baby backpacks. I mean, bring your kids. Go as far as you can go. Be proud of however far you get, and take it for what it is and have fun with it. We added $10 for that adventure in case you have to pay to park.
So probably one of my favorite ones that we did was driving up Pikes Peak.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of videos where they do the hill climb races and stuff, so that was kind of something that was pretty neat to me, especially after seeing all that. It is a lazy event.
Oh yeah, so do it the day after you did the incline, so you can drive.
And let your legs catch up to you.
But you do have to book reservations to get in as well.
You have a time to get in.
Yeah, a timed entrance, and for 4 people it cost us $52. So not too bad, unless again you get all the way to the summit and you get suckered into all the souvenirs and all the good food.
They see you coming.
They do, and you might actually need a drink at that point. Again, the altitude will get you. And I chose coffee, which I'm not gonna lie, guys, you know me, I'll be honest if something's good or not. The coffee wasn't good. But the little sugary donuts were.
And take a jacket.
Yeah, take a jacket. In June, it was 40 degrees up there.
There's still snow. I'm sure you're like 14,000 feet, so you're pretty high. Up there.
Yeah, or you could do the cog train, but I don't know how much that costs. We're talking about driving yourselves and stopping at your own pace. That's what we like to do. Get out and take pictures, take our time. Somebody has to use the bathroom, it's not a big deal. And there were plenty of bathrooms.
Yeah, well, we were there, right, yeah, because there's all those porta-johns right before the...
Yeah, there's this Gran Turismo race coming up.
It's 100th anniversary.
Should be something to see. We talk more in depth in our Drive to Pikes Peak video, so check that out if you want to hear more about it. But $52, the most breathtaking views. I would compare the whole drive up to the drive like going to the Sun Road in Glacier. I wouldn't say the scenery is comparable, but it's just as beautiful. The scenery at Glacier just swallows you.
Right.
This is more of an overlook, but it's like just as fascinating.
I would say if you do the drive, just remember that somebody got from the dam to the top in less than 8 minutes. So
That is true.
Which took us like an hour. So
yeah, it took us about an hour to drive up there, but again, we like to take our time and do our thing. So number 4, the Royal Gorge Railroad. Number 4, the Royal Gorge train ride. It's called the Royal Gorge Route, but it's like a tongue twister for me, so I have to call it a train ride.
This was kind of one of our more expensive things that we've done. I would say
it was. We got the Vista View seats with the glass window. We did pay for the $22 lunch meal ahead of time online, and come to find out what we thought was included in that wasn't actually true, apparently. So I don't know if it really saves any money or not. It didn't seem so for us, but at least that part was already paid for in advance. And then any extra like refills we wanted or anything extra was on top of that. So the train ride with 4 tickets for the Vista View was like $564. That included the $22 each to eat, but then we had extra refills on drinks and a tip. So that was $50 more. So that whole adventure was $614. Now we did not buy souvenirs, but if you do that, of course, add that to your bill.
I will say about the souvenir shop is they have good shirts. So if you're going to buy a souvenir shirt,
Yeah, they had really nice jewelry and really soft quality t-shirts that we like, yeah. Oh, in the little caboose there, right next to the entrance, they have really good coffees and gelato, and so, you know, your numbers could go up there, but definitely worth it though, because their food was good. Now, I think the train ride was totally worth it to do once. That was an expensive adventure, and we don't normally do things that are like $500-600. If we do, it's in like Hawaii. But this was like, I don't know that we'll come back to this area anytime soon, so let's do it. It's a beautiful day. It's nice weather out on that open car. It was great. Check out the video on that we did as well.
The views of the gorge from the train are fantastic.
Yeah.
However, if you want to do it cheaper, there is a cheaper way.
Yep. Canyon City. You can drive up to Canyon City, which is about 7 more miles.
It is much cheaper to do it that way. You get some pretty spectacular views of the gorge.
So there is a free viewing deck up there, and you can see like all of it in the gondola, and you can see people zip lining across. It's great. But if you go into the little visitor center, they're going to want to charge you to go view the bridge, walk across the bridge, and take the gondola, which I think is included. But if you do that, it's $32 a person. So it is cheaper than the train ride, and it would cost you $128 instead of, you know, the
$614.
$128 instead of the $614. That's quite a jump. So you decide.
But you still got to buy lunch.
True.
Number 5 is one that I really wanted to go do while we were in town. And I would have come here just for that. Was Garden of the Gods. And I'm really glad we got to see it. And at the end of the week, like we did it, it's awesome because it's free. And so.
Yeah. And it's literally like 5 minutes from Garden of the Gods RV campground. So quick drive. We didn't pay to park. Totally free. Really nice garden walk, paved walkway.
They make it easy for you.
We went early in the morning when it was nice and cool. Started off under 60 degrees. And we had jackets on. And then it took us we just moseyed around for like 2 hours. And we were out of there right after 8 o'clock a.m.
Yeah.
And that was the best time to go. So the crowd, I mean, there hardly was a crowd at all. And we even saw some wildlife.
Yeah, it was pretty neat because we actually went yesterday, Thursday, at like 11, and it was like a zoo. I mean, there's people everywhere, and it was just.
I mean, you could hardly take any photos without like a crowd of people being in them as well. So we just really recommend going at sunrise. I mean, the place opens at 5 a.m. this time of year, so go early.
Yeah, go before 8 o'clock. They've got nice, easy trails for you to walk. And then if you can't walk it, then there's a road that goes all the way around it, which lets you see just about everything. So
now you can increase your cost, and you can rent segways or bikes or e-bikes or whatever you want to do.
Riding.
You can go horseback riding, but if you want the free version, take a walk all by yourself and pick which trail you like. Take some pictures. It's really all that was necessary, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean. It's a park that doesn't take long to get through, so.
Yeah, we were kind of done moseying around in 2 hours time, so, and now we feel like we have the whole day to do whatever.
So one of the questions we get a lot is, how expensive is it to drive your camper? So on this trip, we've been doing the cost because we budget for this stuff. You know, I kind of had to do some figuring. So we're 660 miles from home, give or take.
One way.
One way. And so, you know, that puts us at $1,320 round trip. And so for us, it was $1,000. You know, I figure, you know, $5.50 diesel fuel, 8 mile a gallon. Of course, you know, we're in the mountains the whole way because we live on the other side of the Rockies. So we don't get the best fuel mileage, but at 8 miles a gallon, it's going to cost me about $1,000 in fuel.
Round trip.
So it's about $1.32 a mile for us to take the camper.
Yeah, so whether you're driving or flying, we estimated in this budget for $1,000 for traveling to actually get here. So whether that's driving or flights, I don't know what flights are from anywhere you're going, but you'll have to adjust that cost accordingly, obviously. But we just added in $1,000 for gas, so that one kind of stings a bit.
So for everything we did, groceries, $700 for groceries, a couple $100 for just miscellaneous souvenir stuff, Penny Arcade, the arcade at the campground. This trip cost us $36.36, give or take.
Yeah, we added about $700 for groceries and including eating out. We didn't eat out a whole lot. We bought like a week's worth of food and ate out maybe 3 or 4 times. That included the food trucks here at the campground, which were still pretty pricey, but You know, not like $100 dinner every night. So we figured $700 for food for the week, $200 for souvenirs, and like Jarrett said, miscellaneous little ice cream spending. Yep, that was the trip for 4. $36. So that seems kind of high, doesn't it, for a week's vacation? But I mean, that's the reality of it. This isn't a video where we're like, you can do this 5 adventure bucket list trip for $15. That's not the world we're living in right now.
No, and we did some bigger ticket items that you could take off $600 for you. If you 86 the trainer had, and take off, you can take off another couple $100 if you don't go to Red Rock, which you can go to Red Rock without a show during the day for free.
Yep.
But I'm sure it's not the same.
Yeah, so pick and choose your adventures. Make them what you want and what makes your trip feel fulfilling and adventurous.
Fulfilling and adventurous.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We hope this video helps. We really appreciate you spending your time with us. Time is something you don't get back, and for you to give it to us.
Yeah, thank you for that. And check out each individual video if you want. We'll be posting them separately on each of the 5 adventures.
If you have any questions or comments, let us know.
Have a good day, guys, and
see you on
our next adventure.
See you guys. But
there's one of those red fire ants again. Ooh.
That was
He's dead. Did it start?
Yes.